What is your definition of faith? Is it dependent on a religion? Is it dependent on something you've been taught and handed down from your parents, from teachers? Is it a man sitting in a throne in the sky? Or is it just your own inner guidance that's connected to the elements, the earth, the trees, the water, the air, the sun, the inner knowing, the inner guidance? And we could say, maybe safely, that things like politics and religion, even capitalism, education, even our healthcare, in many ways, has severed us from true faith, has made us shift blame onto something outside of ourselves that we feel we are supposed to be inherently cared for by. And that's the whole trick to reversing all of this, is taking back your power, our power collectively, resolving all of these issues that are rifling through our planet. If we just recenter and redefine what faith is and where it lives. It does not live in a God outside of us. It does not live in a circumstance outside of us. It does not live in the actions of others towards us. It does not live in a bonus from a job or a promotion. Faith can only come from one place, and that's got to be from your very own heart space. Remember that the body does not have a soul. The soul has many bodies, and the soul is part of something much larger. This infinite well of unconditional love, this infinite well of all types of experiences, and that you have the ability at any time to shift your focus from one of lack, of suffering, of disparity, of victimization. You can transform all of that by refocusing the idea of faith, self-love, self-worth, and trust, by focusing that internally. I see the soul as being the omniscience of what some people would call God consciousness. And that soul has many avatars, many bodies, and this is just one little body, one little avatar in the totality of all experiences that are possible in a field of omniscience, in a God source energy. And what would happen if you decided one day to reignite that soul spark of the soul that connects to this particular avatar? What would happen if you decided to focus all of that, not externally, but internally, and focus it on gratitude, on trust, on faith in your deserving of good things? Faith that you not only can, but will and are accomplishing your goals. Faith that you are absolutely worth it in every aspect. Faith that you are lovable and loving. Faith that you are trusted and trusting. Faith that you are safe. Faith that you can and do speak your truth. Faith to define who this avatar is and what they're doing here. regardless of the chatter on the outside, all that noise. This avatar has faith in that avatar, because we're all reflections of each other. And every interaction, every connection, every difficulty, and every victory is a reflection of the frequency you're holding and projecting through your avatar. So I'd be willing to bet that the more focus you place on gratitude, on a winning attitude, on forgiveness, on compassion, on discipline to get things done, on connection, on community, forgiveness. The more we focus on those things, the faster this whole mess is going to clear itself up, and it will become non-existent, unable to be experienced, for we will no longer be in these vibrations of disconnection, of separation, of delusion, of fear. So maybe it's time to step away from some of your practices, some of your groups. Really take inventory of the people that you have in your life and the reflections of yourself and what they're trying to tell you about yourself, what you're trying to tell you about yourself. I took a big step back from the what we call the spiritual community. It was the best decision I made in a really long time. And there's nothing wrong with it. I had just learned what I needed to learn from that. And I have no grudges. I have nothing but love for it. I have nothing but gratitude for it because of what it taught me about myself. And if there are parts of that community that are still struggling with interactions with this avatar, that's not my issue. There's never a time when there isn't something to learn by all parties involved in anything. So don't you think it's time to take your power back, your faith back, redefine what faith means to you? And the safest and most foolproof way to do that is to do it through your own heart space. Sit with the pain and sit with the distortion, sit with the disconnect and feel it. Feel it all. Write it down. Recreate it into something that works for you, not against you. I spent a long time creating situations where I was not wanted, where I would experience pushback and non-inclusion, jealousy, hate in some cases. I'm actively not choosing that anymore because it's not the truth. I think I chose it because the entire time I was just hopeful and working towards accepting myself for everything that I have been, everything that I am, and everything that I might be ever. It's all the same anyway. It's all happening in the now anyway. It's time to disconnect from the systems, the thoughts, the ideas, the people, the places, the things that are not supporting a loving and compassionate move forward. You're not going to find it in politics. You're not going to find it in religion. You're not going to find it in education. You're only going to find it in the quiet and stillness, the acceptance and the love, the compassion and the forgiveness of your very own heart space. Have the courage to really look at who and what you are, and have the courage to define it and choose to change it. I love you. Talk to you soon.